Now, the word in the Hebrew used for sex is yada. It's spelled Y-A-D-A. It's interpreted, though, as new in the King James Version of the Bible. Even when it says their eyes were open and they knew they were naked, it uses the same word. No. It's talking about a sexual knowledge they did not have before the fall. And one we can still be doing now. If again we're doing it like Satan did it to Adam and Eve too. He did it kind of trickery, to purposely hurt one of the two. Namely Adam. Now, the thing is, what he did with Eve was similar to what Adam did with her in the first place, right? She had experienced the form of pleasure, right? Where something went inside of her. But if Adam never did, it was Adam he was showing this new idea of sex, right? Which can still be around today, by the way. But it's not just the sex itself. It's not the sex alone that makes it right or wrong. It was that it made him ashamed when it did it with him the way it did it with him. It made him feel as if it was evil. And by doing it that way with him, it gave him the knowledge of good and evil. And he hated it to death. Till he died. And condemned it. Even though he let it happen at first, even though he was talked into it, right? That's the problem too. He let Eve and Satan talk him into it, right? Who told you that you were naked? Who spoke to Eve? A serpent or a human being, right? Last time I checked, a human being has vocal cords and a serpent does not. But sometimes your pride is you don't want to realize what Moses is saying when he said, the man has become as one of us to know good and evil. Then in chapter 1 it says, let us make man in our image, Our. It's a plural but singular image. The only way to have that is if you make the male and female in the same body, right? What the Greeks call a hermaphrodite. Oh. Now, if Mary was with a man, right, but it wasn't a man, but a hermaphrodite, right? I don't know. But whatever it was that was going on at the time, right? It's the only way you can fulfill that scripture is if it was something that was both male and female. That tricked her as if it was Gabriel into having sex with it. And she, in her lack of knowledge, thought it was not a man or a woman and let it do so, right? And didn't know it was sex she was actually doing with it at the time either. It's not like, she wasn't a virgin and would know if that was sex or not. That she even did with the angel until she was with Joseph, right? And even then, it wasn't like Joseph's body, it was both. It had boobs and a penis. Well, like he said, if she never had sex before, she wouldn't know what that was, right? She wouldn't know it was a hermaphrodite. She wouldn't know it had sex with her, right? She would think it was more like her than like her husband, right? That's her naivete of what it was, right? And whose fault was that if she didn't know what a hermaphrodite was? Israel's fault that thought that didn't even exist, right? But it does. But you don't know it exists until you find out about them like I did, right? How did I find out about them? Through the Gnostic Gospels, through being at a hospital and looking it up. I'm telling you how. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. Now, it's one thing, like I said, right? If I'm making something up and I can't even prove it, right? But if I can prove it, then you've been taught the wrong thing all your life and you've been lied to about it, right? So have I, right? But the problem is you might prefer to lie over the truth, right? You don't even know they exist, right? Uh-oh, uh-oh. What that means is, for instance, if one can get a woman pregnant, can it also get pregnant by a man? And is that a good idea for it to do so, right? I don't know. But if it does or don't, you just don't know about them and no one's telling you about them. So you're basically in the dark about it or ignorant of it, right? But if I know about one and I've seen them and that they're a real thing, then I've seen one and you have not, and we're just arguing about something I've seen that you have not, right? I'm no more lying about it than you're denying it, but you're denying it because you never seen it, right? Whole point. Whole point. Now, another thing about them though is they're one in maybe 200 to 500,000 born, right? Yeah, yeah. So if you don't know about them, you don't know about them.